Alright, we are back to BTCTV YouTube channel and we are back to second season of Blockchain Stars. We continue to do videos about 12 competitions companies which are participating in our TV show. Right now we are happy to present you the next batch of companies, and again just want to remind you that all our subscribers can win different prizes and presents just simply asking interesting question below this video. And don't forget to vote for the best project which are not chosen by advisors. That you can save your favorite project by simply voting for it, and the project with the most votes will be in the finals as well. So let's get started. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to Stage 1. And here, please meet our famous advisors. Nikolai Shkilev. Nikolai Shkilev is an entrepreneur, PhD, owner and co-owner of dozens of successful business projects, ICO, STO advisor, and blockchain expert. Giacomo Arcaro. Giacomo Arcaro is one of the most experienced European growth hackers. He's a professor at College des Ingenieurs, TAG Innovation School, founder of Black Marketing Guru, and Confindustria speaker. He exited for $1 million with Circa Clienti.it in 2015, and now he's become one of the most influential European ICO advisors with over 140,000 crypto followers. Dennis O'Neill. He has over 25 years as an investment banker. He was the managing director for SoftBank Investments and E2 Capital office in Chicago and raised over $2 billion in capital for early-stage companies to date. He is a thought leader and blockchain crypto expert and has spoken at over 25 conferences and is a sought-after speaker for blockchain, STO, and crypto conferences. Blockchain Stars are proud to present our partners: X-Rates, BC and Law, the Blockchain Summit Austria, Malta Blockchain Summit.
Also a couple more on the line. Right now I would love to present the company with an interesting name, Nahmi. And Jacobo, we are here to hear more about this company. What is this about? And please tell us.
NAMI is a protocol we have built. Let me go very quickly through the team and the history. So Hubi is the company that has developed NAMI. Hubi is a 12-year-old company from the west coast of Norway. We're located in Bergen. We're a team of 8 people working full-time in the company. The CTO and CSO, I've been working with them for over a decade. We come from the oil and gas industry. As you probably know, Norway is kind of a big country in terms of the oil and gas. We were working originally on the content aggregation space. We had a fair amount of success working with companies like Mozilla, Telenor, Telefonica, Alcatel, Panasonic. We were providing service to close to 50 million users a day. And we had learned a fair amount of knowledge about the content industry. And approximately 2 years ago, we shift focus towards blockchain. What we started building though was initially a content marketplace, but then we immediately realized that what the industry needed, the blockchain industry needed, was really a solution to fix some of the inherited problems. That is how we end up pivoting to NAMI approximately 20 months ago. So if you're wondering what is stopping the blockchain from being able to become commercially viable, like for example all the fantastic projects we have heard about today, it is four key points. One of them is scaling, and I'm sure that we're all familiarized with blockchain, Bitcoin, and Ethereum only performing 9, 12, or 15 transactions per second. The other problem is interoperability, which unfortunately is not often enough spoken about in the industry. In terms of interoperability, we may have been able to build similar solutions on top of a blockchain targeting multiple different backends. So either you would like to build a solution, I mean, you should not be able to build a solution only targeting a single blockchain, because at the end of the day, the market will work in a way that multiple blockchains will win. So it's not going to be one company taking it all. And therefore, you should be able to target multiple solutions. In terms of the development tools, this is also a problem that we have come across. The tools today in the market are very raw, immature, painful, and equally important is compliance. So two of the companies have already spoken about KYC ML a second ago, so I will go through this in detail. So what we have done with NAMI, the last 20 months we have spent slightly above $3 million building what we call the first scaling interoperability solution. I know, and I'm sure that some of the questions will be along those lines. I know that there are multiple companies working in this space. We can go through the details later on. But the solution is already built. Has been deployed to mainnet approximately 8 or 9 months ago. We deployed to Ropsten a year and 2 months ago. And over the next few weeks, we will start the work of porting it to the Bitcoin blockchain through the guys at Rostock in Argentina. And we will also be targeting other blockchains moving on, like, for example, Libra or Neo. Now, what NAMI solves are precisely the 4 pain points I was talking about before. So scalability. And scalability, one of the biggest problems that we see with most of the other companies working in this space is that they tend to take a very narrow-minded approach towards so-called scalability. So they focus on the throughput. Our understanding is slightly wider. So we believe that to have a commercially viable solution, you need not only a decent throughput, but also the latency fees, finality, and I mean, all those problems have to be fixed at once. Now, let me see. I'm going to the next slide. Yeah, so as I was saying before, in terms of throughput, what we have been able to achieve is what we call 15 transactions per second per wallet. That is how we measure it ourselves. In terms of the fees, because NAMI is a layer 2 solution, I don't want to get into too many technicalities. I will wait for your questions, guys. But it is a second layer solution. Therefore, we are in a position to be able to measure the fees just before the transactions take place, so we can give you a decent forecasting. And when it comes down to latency, we have been able to achieve what we call web scale latency. So the system scales horizontally. And when it comes down to the finality, it's even better, because the transactions, as soon as they take place, they're completely, I mean, they're final and there's no comeback. When it comes down to our go-to-market strategy, with the product already built, as we have said, and already in the Ethereum blockchain, we are working together with Microsoft. We will have an event on the 12th of September in Oslo. It was announced last week, I seem to recall. I'm sure you will have questions about Microsoft, and I will answer whatever I can. But all details will be released on the 12th at this event with Microsoft. But what I can say, though, is that Microsoft is going to help us greatly on our go-to-market strategy, and will indeed help us to get that footprint in the industry that we're after, and equally important, obtain a decent market share. Liquid is the cryptocurrency exchange. Located in Japan, and we will be having a token sale for NAMI on the 18th of September. NAMI is also a tokenized protocol, and again, I can give you briefly some details, and you can ask more questions later on. But the two key parts of the token of the protocol is first that it plays a key role on the security of the protocol itself. So without the token, NAMI wouldn't work. And second is that all the fees earned by the protocol, which will come in the form of transaction fees, will be earned by the token holders. So in simple terms, if you own 1% of the tokens, you will be earning 1% of the transaction fees coming from the protocol. And then the other partner that we have is MBX. MBX is an upcoming cryptocurrency exchange from Norway, fully regulated both in Norway and the EU. The owners are Norwegian Airlines, which for some of you might sound familiar. MBX has also become the very first partner or founder member of the NAMI Foundation. So all the IP that we have developed until today will be later on granted to the NAMI Foundation, and the purpose of the NAMI Foundation is to look after the protocol, after the security of the protocol. So MBX is going to be building a solution as well. So in terms of in terms of the products that will be built on NAMI, we already have what we call a digital asset manager, which is developed by us. It's called Cubicore. Has been live since October 2018. And it's already integrated into NAMI. So apart from using your Ethereum wallet to perform payments on the layer 1, you can also deposit into the protocol, you can perform fast payments, and also withdraw back into the layer 1. We're also deploying an exchange at the end of this quarter, at the end of Q4, and there are also two games being developed right now by a third-party company, and also a payment processing system.
Okay, Jacobo, thanks for your presentation because we are limited on time. Let's actually start right now with the questions, and Dennis, maybe you have some serious question about this project.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I mean, it sounds very interesting. I guess the biggest issue I would have here, or the biggest question I have, is that as far as blockchain developers, there is a litany of companies that are in the space that are claiming to do what you're doing. If you can give me an idea of what type of traction you have in the market and what your major differentiators are between yourself and other people in the space.
That's a good question, Dennis, and thank you for that. So I think that the competitors or the landscape can be divided into three groups of companies. At the very left, you would have 99% of the companies that claim that are working in this space and might indeed be working in this space, but in reality, they're doing absolutely nothing. Keep in mind that we end up building NAMI out of a pure necessity. At the very right, you might have the companies that are indeed building something. And the beautiful thing about those companies, though, is that they tend to be following very much of a cul-de-sac solution. So they tend to be, for example, a fork of Plasma. I'm sure that is the product that you're referring to. And Plasma, which I believe was originally done by the guys at OmniSego, right? So we do have a fair amount of experience in scaling. Some of our guys has been working around the scaling in blockchain since 2013, first with Bitcoin, and he knows a thing or two about Plasma as well. So the beautiful thing about Plasma is that it is not commercially viable. So irrespective of how many transactions, the mathematics say that. So if people does read in detail the white paper and actually gets to comprehend it, then they will see that irrespective of how many transactions you perform, if you still have to wait 15 seconds, then it is not going to work, right? And then in the middle would be us. So the product, first of all, we're not selling a promise. So the product is built and has been built, and the money has been spent and the hours have been dedicated. Furthermore, our comprehension of scalability is considerably far superior to the other teams, and the tools are also developed. Furthermore, we'll be porting it to other blockchains, and most importantly, we do have we have gone through 8 months of due diligence with Microsoft. So we started working with them first in December 2018. So, and then of course we have this other big backing of MBX, which will indeed
Sure.
help.
Can you give us a little idea of what the scope of the work that you're going to be doing with Microsoft?
As mentioned, and I will post it here later on the chat, the invitation published by Microsoft for Thursday next week in Oslo. But in bigger terms, what I can tell you is Microsoft is going to help us in the go-to-market just to obtain customers and to onboard customers. That is as far as I can tell you, because the big news ought to be released on 12th by the Microsoft people, right? But by the way, did this answer the question about the other competitors? And sorry for being a little bit rude,
just traction in the market. Do you have any? What where are you at as far as getting traction clients in the space?
So as mentioned before, there are 2 games being developed right now by a third-party company, and we have already built a product which has got about 2,500 users a month. Of course, this payment system that is being built will potentially be deployed to 45 million users. And indeed, Microsoft is going to help us to get that footprint that we're after.
Okay, thanks for your answers. And maybe Giacomo, you have a quick question.
Yeah, just yeah, it's really ambitious. You can hear me? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I can.
So it's really ambitious project because it's really technical. So I'm not that into technicalities, but I'm more into marketing and innovation. But I was wondering, how will you attract users, not community or enthusiasts, but users? So the go-to-market strategy directly to customers.
So that's a good question. Keep in mind that we're not a business to consumer product. So
Yeah.
as you said, this is a highly technical product. This
Yeah.
is a layer to solution, scalability, interoperability, all that kind of stuff. And by the way, back to Dennis, just to finish the previous question, you were also wondering about some of the other competitors. They have not fixed what is called the data availability problem, which is a problem that we have to fix, and furthermore, we have a patent for that. So that is kind of also a good checkbox. But back to you, Giacomo. That is why we're working with Microsoft, and that is where Microsoft.
Okay.
So what we want is, or what we have done is lower the barriers of entry for third-party companies or any corporate that like to develop solutions on top of the protocol. So what we're dedicating time to in terms of business development is to handpick those companies that can give us enough exposure to get a ton of attraction within the product. So in that sense, as mentioned, Microsoft is going to help us. Over here in Bergen, we work with, or we are engaging with seafood companies as well. Norway is a here in Bergen alone, I think we have 3 of the top 10 seafood companies in the world. So for you to have an idea, about $27.5 million of salmon are being traded every day here in Norway. And most of those companies are here in Bergen.
Okay.
So what we're looking for the next 12, 18 months is to work with a handful of companies to build solid products. So we don't necessarily target the crypto community alone, but as mentioned before, all projects that have been pitched here today are in their need of such a solution.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right, thanks as well for your presentation about NACMI and answers to great questions. 2 more companies we have right now, and the next one is one interesting company, right? And the name of it is Membrana. Yuri is right now on the line with us, so we are here to hear about 3 minutes about what is Membrana is about. So yeah, we are listening.
So Membrana, or as the community call it, MBN platform, is an ecosystem for assets under management. We faced a big problem with people losing lots of money with the copy trading or tokenized fund, and we reinvented the idea of assets under management, bringing the transparency and safety that can only be achieved with blockchain and smart contract technology. What's this solution? It is peer-to-peer contract system. And it's not just a trading interface, it's an access for worldwide ecosystem with multiple business opportunities. Just imagine yourself if you can access a share of the community assets and leverage your assets to have access to multiple exchange with bigger money that you can get from your own. You can join the competition playground and compete with other traders, reaching the higher goals and receiving the money prizes. Or you can even trade and give your money to a trader without having an access to a crypto exchange. So this is the reality that we are bringing. All of the data is stored in the blockchain, and the ROI and stats of the traders are transparent and verified. The contracts are concluded with the use of Ethereum smart contracts and executed automatically. So this is the safety that we are bringing to the market. The platform is a decentralized application. It is already live in a public beta stage. We have more than 3,000 registration. It's live more than a year, with the trading volumes crossed over the 2 millions through the MBN platform. More than 3,000 contracts were concluded and successfully finished. Let me share the platform, how easy you can join, how easy you can log in. The verification goes through the MetaMask or a Ethereum wallet of your mobile phone, so it is done from any device from any place of the world. This is the trading environment. You can trade across multiple exchanges, as I said. You can set up the contracts. You can set up your profile page. You can track your trades, your exchanges, your contracts in the dashboard, and it works smooth and perfect. There are many features on the platform which goes with the competitions, ratings, verifications, and of course staking of the tokens. We minted the inner token for our system, and it's used to work with the platform and to communicate with other users. There are lots of layers of token usage, which is a main tool to interact with the ecosystem. A brief case of our team. A team is mostly Russian developers with the worldwide network of ambassadors. We have big names from the industry, Michael from the CMA and Anthony from Goldman Sachs. So we have a very good coverage of the industry, and the network is spread across the world. We have ambassadors in America, in Hong Kong, in Indonesia, in India, and in Korea. The roadmap is a long one. We started the development far ago in 2017, and in the future we will expand our technology to the stock market. I want to thank you for your attention. Please feel free to ask me questions. I would like to join.
Okay, great. Let's start question from Giacomo. How about you will ask some question about this Membrana project to Yuri?
Hi. Okay. This year, I mean, this edition is full of good projects. Seems like by going towards 2020, the projects got more and more technical and less hyped. So, but I lost the part about competitors and how do you make money, and
Okay.
how your competitors is making money.
Well, the thing with our competitors is they use the different approach for the solution, for the solving the problem.
Okay.
Most famous are the tokenized funds, where investors send his money to the smart contract and receiving tokens as an indication of the share.
Okay.
But he don't have any control of the money. He don't have any. He can't set any limitation, restriction.
Yeah.
He don't have like verified information. Our system allows, first of all, to set the restrictions for the trading pairs, so the money couldn't be stolen through the low liquidity pairs. Also, you can set all the risk management tools like maximum loss, the duration of the contract, which will be deployed in the smart contract. So you just set the limitations and you are safe with them. Another thing to mention that there are like copy trading system where you just blindly follow the trader. And this is like, there were cases people, yeah, there were cases with people losing money because, you know, you can just get your own token or get a low liquidity token and just get the pump and dump scheme to steal it. So we saw this exposures long ago, and we came up with our own solution.
All right, thanks. Dennis, maybe you have question to Membrana project?
Yeah. Is the target market retail or institutions or a combination thereof? And if you can give us a little idea of what type of traction, if any, that you have, I mean, of users actually using the platform at this point?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. Our main customer base is retail, because we see that them are really in danger of losing money. They don't have access to expensive brokerage system, and they don't have knowledge in the legal part of the industry. So this solution is more for the retail customers. There are things that like making a bridge between those markets, because with our technology, retail customers can create a group and work with a professional broker as a group. So the broker will be interested in this combined share of, for example, like 1,000 people invest in 1,000 each. So combined, it will be interesting for the big broker, but retail customers can just have access to this business opportunity. And about the second question, the traction. Currently, we have more than 3,000 registrations, and the active customer base is less than 500. We did a competition, which was the main idea of acquiring the customers. We trust our own funds for the people to trade and to compete. That's how we bring some attention, some disclosure, and that's how we want to continue, because that's an interesting way people compete, people have emotions, and they just not trade. That's a lot of things.
All right, thanks for this great answer. And now we are coming to the last project of our TV show, and the last project is Intelligent Fluid. Nicole right now on the line with us. Nicole, you do have 3 minutes to present what is Intelligent Fluids is all about.
So, hi, I'm Nicole from Intelligent Fluids, and I'm afraid I have to take you to a little bit another kind of business now after all these blockchain-based companies. We are a classic industrial company based in Germany, in Leipzig. Intelligent Fluids offer sustainable, efficient and powerful solution for industrial cleaning by utilizing physical effects instead of toxic chemicals. So as you know, in the industrial cleaning sector, at the moment, there are lots of classical chemicals, solvent-based chemicals used to clean. They are very strong in performance, okay, but they are not very smart. Green cleaners, which you can get, are strong in smartness, but quite weak in performance, at least for the industrial sector. Intelligent Fluids, so our products, they combine both. They are strong in performance and they are very smart. So with our Intelligent Fluids, we want to start the global solvent-free cleaning era by replacing these aggressive chemicals. As you know, aggressive solvents are quite harmful for people, nature, equipment and materials. That's why the worldwide regulatory framework becomes more restrictive, and there is a sustainable trend to replace harmful chemistry and a growing demand for smart and green harmless products, as you know. So Intelligent Fluids, we offer a product which is non-toxic and biodegradable, non-inflammable, water-based, which produce less waste and with which you can save up to 65% of energy consumption. With all these points, we are supporting with our products 10 out of 17 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So I just want to show you, while I'm talking, you can see in this small black circle, this is kind of a microscope. In real time, you can see how our fluids are working. It's kind of micro earthquakes, so they work physically, as I said before. Intelligent Fluids penetrate and fragmentate the dirt or whatever surface you want to clean, undercut, lift it off, and then you just have to rinse it off. And with the rinsing, the process is deactivated. Our markets, we are working in the microelectronic markets and the maintenance market. The oil and gas market, we are planning to address still this year. So you can see the figures here. Our target market share in 2030 for microelectronics will be around 200 million euro. Maintenance, oil and gas, 220 million euro. We are only in the B2B market, yeah. So, to put it in a nutshell, we are an established German company with about 1 million revenue at the moment, a staff of 22 people working in our company. We've got a disruptive technology, proof of markets, 26 patents approved and 25 more pending, supporting 10 out of 17 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This is our team and our network, just to have a quick glance at it. And now we are coming to the key point why I'm here today. So for our global growth, as you know, for the industrial company, we are situated in Germany, but as I stated before, microelectronics, for example, is not situated in Germany or Europe, but in Asia and the US mainly. So it's important for us, for our global growth, to start the post-solvent era, to build up production sites and R&D labs in Asia and in the US, so where our customers are situated. Therefore, we are planning an STO, a security token offering. Our token will be equity-like, so the token holders will have a subordinated profit participation right. I'm afraid that's a little bit too much in detail on my slide here, so probably you will have questions afterwards for that, so I will just go on. With our caps, we will have a soft cap with a hard cap of our pre-sale for 800,000 euro and about 30 million in the main sale. It's important to state that both of our sales will be BaFin approved. BaFin is a financial authority of Germany. So that's how we can offer our tokens at minimum investment of 800 euro. Our STO model also includes an NGO reward program. So I told you that we are supporting 10 out of 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Mm-hmm. There will be 7 NGOs rewarded at the end of the STO, which we do not. So the 7 ones which we do not support intrinsically with our products, plus 3 local institutions. And during the next 10 years, the 10 other NGOs will be rewarded every year on the basis of fluids sold per year. So there will also be a donation. 10% of the donation is dedicated to purchase our tokens at the face value. So yeah, that was...
Okay, yes. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Nicole, for your presentation about your STO. And yeah, Giacomo, what question you will have to this smart fluids company?
I will start by saying that you deserve a Nobel Prize if it works. I mean, it's this is more into the traditional world than the crypto one, but we are facing now the merging of these two worlds. And you are creating an STO not to, you're working within the blockchain not to, I mean, you don't need a sense of clarity and sense of, to give to the project a sense of authority, but you need to give the opportunity to everyone also to buy $1 of your stocks. So every one of us that are concerning about the environment should buy your token. And actually, I'm here in the headquarters of Helply in Rome, and we are doing the same with the plastic. So I think there will be some connections also with Helply here in Rome. And for the questions, well, it will be more technical and more chemistry questions about that. So I'm surprised about the project you have just developed. So it's cool and it's nice project. It's nice to hear project in traditional one.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's a product. I just want to get you this right. I mean, it's already developed and there is also a proof of market. So we have a running customer base. We are selling our products and all the time. We just need for our global growth because I mean, the big companies, they don't want to get their products for cleaning from Germany to Asia, but they want to have it on site. So cool. That's our main challenge at the moment to build up the facilities, to serve our customers and to produce
Yeah,
products
cool.
for them.
It's really intelligent. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and maybe Dennis has some tough question to Intelligent Fluids.
Obviously, it's a more of a traditional a company which I'm very familiar with. I guess that the only question I really have is that obviously that it seems like you have been able to capture a decent list of high, pretty large corporations.
Yes.
But the sales are only $1 million at this stage. So I guess there's the two-part question is that how do you capture clients and how do you scale those revenues to those clients? I mean, were the $1 million in sales just basically them testing the product to see if it does what they need it to do, or is it that you will need thousands and thousands and thousands of large corporations to generate real revenue?
Okay, very good question. Thank you for that. I mean, for example, if I just would like to explain it with an example, part of microelectronics, we have different applications. There are, for example, microelectronics parts cleaning, so as catch cup cleaning and things like that. Therefore, you don't need so much of our fluids. And usually, these big companies, they start with using our fluids for like smaller applications, just to test them and to see how it's running. What brings these sales to a higher level, let's say it like that, are applications, for example, like photoresist stripping, which you use for wafer, the producing of wafers. And therefore our fluids will have to be integrated in the process, in the production process of these big companies. And this takes a qualification time from 2 years up to 7 years in big companies. And we are in the qualification phase in many of these companies. The problem is that we have to get over this time, of course. But you're right, we just need like one, we call it volume customer. So one volume customer would be great to get the revenues, skyrocketing, let's say it like that. And that's what we are working for. And of course, one of the main issues is that what I said before is that they say, okay, we have a running production line and we can implement your products, but you've got your facilities or your production site is in Germany. What is if something happens with what's not in our hands? So it would be the best to have the production site on site or in the country where they are producing. So that's a little bit tricky, and that's our challenge, which we are trying to solve with the STO and with connecting the blockchain world with the classic industrial world, which is quite worth it, I think.
All right, great. Thanks a lot for your presentation, Nicole, about intelligent fluids. Great project. And finally, we are coming to a very important part of our show, because right now we can hear from our advisors regarding which companies will go to the next stage. And I just want to thank one more time to all our companies which participated in the second season. As you can see, second season is way higher from the first one. Competition is really tough, and I don't know how the advisors will choose great companies to be in the finals, because if I would be in your shoes, I will select all of them, at least half of them, right? So how you can choose only one is really hard question. Alright, thanks for watching this episode. It came to the end, but this is not the end of the first stage, because we have more participants which are waiting on the line, which will be presented to you as well. Watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and start asking interesting questions below this video. So thanks again, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Blockchain Stars are proud to present our partners: X-Rates, BC and Law, the Blockchain Summit Austria, Malta Blockchain Summit.